Welcome back, everyone. Next project at RCB Garage is this Sport Track TRX 300. And what you see is how I got it. Plastics aren't on. They were kind of just resting on it. The guy that I got it from, well, let me just tell you the backstory on this. So I guess this belonged to his wife's brother, who died in Afghanistan, and it's been sitting around for a long time. And I guess recently he tried to get it running and he had no luck. Doesn't know nothing about quads, so he put it up for sale for 450 bucks. And of course I couldn't pass that deal up, so I swooped right in and grabbed it. It does crank over. Battery's good. The electric's good. I don't know if it has spark. Just by looking at it, I can see down in here that he put a brand new carburetor on it. I don't understand why he couldn't get it running. Maybe it doesn't have spark. I don't know. All four tires are junk. The two front ones don't seem to hold air. This one's not too bad, but it doesn't hold air. These back here are all dry rotted out. I don't know if you can see them. They're pretty bad. I mean, I haven't seen tires this bad, but they do hold air, so that's a good thing, I guess. It's a bit rusty. We can clean all this up though. The frame paint's still here for the most part. I checked the brakes. The front brake works and the rear brake works. It's a pretty clean bike. It even has this factory taillight, which, if anybody knows from buying used quads, you rarely ever get the bikes with a factory taillight in them, especially sport quads. It also still has the toolbox on it, or the tool pack, or whatever you want to call it. It's missing the end cap, but the fact that this is still here is pretty amazing as well. It's got the original dashboard still on it. This is probably one of the first things that go. I don't know why people take these off, but they don't like the way they look, I guess. Neutral light works. Reverse light, I don't know if it works, but I know the neutral light works. The frame is in pretty good shape. I don't see any bending or anything like that in the frame, anything bent. The steering is pretty tight on it. No issues with the steering other than the fact that the tires are flat as a pancake. This guy right here should be latched down in there, but it's not. I can fix that pretty easy. It's got the factory bumper on it. The CDI is loose. I'm not sure why that's loose. Probably doesn't have spark, most likely. The clutch feels good. Let's check the gas tank. This does have a metal tank. Let's see if it's rusty. No, it's full of gas. Doesn't smell bad. It's a little bit of surface rust in there, but I don't see any real bad rust. That's good. So this is the next project. This one here is, it's got some rust on it, but it's all surface rust. There's no rot really. You can clean all that up, throw a coat of paint on it. The reverse button here. Let's see. That's the clutch, and the reverse is working, as you can see down there. So that's good. The cables are all free. Let's check the throttle. That seems to be moving okay. Can't tell if there's any. If you guys can see that master cylinder down there, but I can't tell if there's any fluid in there, but it is. It does have resistance, so I'm sure it's okay. Yeah, so this is the next project. I got to get this in the garage and get moving on it. I got a couple other things going on today. I got another. I'm actually, that big Honda 410 420 right there is getting sold today. I have somebody coming to pick that up, so we're gonna get that done. Get this out of here. Make up some room to get something else in. As you can see, I'm pretty full. I don't want to show you guys too much in the back over there, but I got I got another project back there, but I don't want to spoil the fun yet. And this here is a Harley Street 750 that my son just bought. And I rode it a few times, and this is a pretty nice bike. Rides nice and smooth, it's really fast. Got a Vance & Hines exhaust on it. Yeah, it's a sweet little bike. It's only got 5,000 miles on it. It's a 2016, I think, what my son said. Pretty cool. All right, without further ado, let's get this bike in the garage, get it on the lift, and start working on it. It's on the lift. I think we should just finish up our assessment now. I got the back plastic off so I can get a better look at what I'm working with here. First off, I noticed that all 4 wheels are missing 2 lug nuts each, and that's not a factory lug nut, so I'm not sure what that is. So I'm gonna have to get a set of lug nuts for this. See over here, we're missing 2. Let's take a look at the oil. See what the oil looks like. Well, the oil looks pretty good. It's not milky. That's good. And it's caramel colored. It's not black, so I'm going to assume it was taken care of before it was let sit for a long time. Let's see what we got in the airbox. Let's see. Do you think there's a filter in here? Oh, wow. Brand new filter. That's good. I'll have to buy that. What else we got going on here? I think that's pretty much it. The battery looks like it's brand new. So I'm going to assume they replaced the battery, and I'm thinking that maybe this CDI is new. But I don't know. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the tank, and I am going to pull the inspection caps on the valves and check the valve lash before we go any further, just to make sure that that's in spec. So I'm going to pull the tank now and turn you back on when I finish. Alright, I got everything off. I checked the valve lash on these, and they're at least 10 thousandths. They're supposed to be 4 thousandths. So there's too much lash there. Then I come up to the front, and there's like a ton there. So I got a closer look. I look down in there at that valve stem, and you can see that that valve stem's all mushroomed out, and it's missing that adjuster by a good 1/16 of an inch, maybe more. So we got a bad valve. I'm gonna have to pull the top end off of this and check it out. So I'm gonna start pulling this apart, and I'll turn you on when I get the head off. Get the valve cover off. This bolt right here was frozen in there. I had to heat this with the torch, heat the head, and I ended up getting it out without breaking it, so I was lucky. But as you can see, the top of that valve right there is toast, and I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get that out. I'm going to have to grind it just so I can get it out, get it through the head. I might have to cut it off. And I think the camshaft's gone too, and I'll show you why. Get you underneath the light here. These things are smoked. Look at them. They are completely going down. Look at the step on that. So it needs new rockers. It needs new rockers. It needs a new valve. It might need more than one valve. I won't know until I get the head off. It doesn't look like the journal. So this doesn't have journals. This rides on Barons, which is good. The EX400 rides on journals, and then those end up getting smoked when the cam goes. So as I'm looking at this right here, it definitely needs one valve, but I might as well pull them all off and check them, lap them in, and probably needs a piston and ring. Definitely gonna need a timing chain. Might as well do that while I'm in here. Motor's torn down. I think I pretty much figured out why this guy couldn't get this thing running. I don't know if you can see it, but the connecting rod looks like it got kind of heated up there. You can see it's really brown. If I can get it to come back up the top, but try rotating it. Go back the other way. If you guys can see that. See how brown it is right there? So, not really sure what caused that, but the connecting rod itself moves pretty free. There is no up and down play, and there's very little side to side. So I'm not sure if it ran lean and it seized up the piston. That's what I think happened. So let's go over here to the bench and show you what I figured out over there. We're at the bench, and let's go over everything I found. So we get a little light here. First off, we get the valve cover. You can see there that those things are completely smoked out. I mean, they're down 1/8 of an inch. This one looks like it's down 3/16 of an inch. So I don't know what caused that. I have no idea. It looks like the bearings might have seized too and started spinning in there. I don't know. There's that. Then the camshaft. I mean, you can see the flat on that. Look at that lobe, if you want to call it a lobe. The other one's just as bad, flat spotted. The bearings seem like they're all right, but those look like those were really hot as well. So this camshaft's no good. The wrist pin seems okay. Doesn't look like that got very hot. That seems all right. The head, that valve right there is no good. That one looks okay. The other ones look okay. Doesn't look bent, but I'm gonna have to pull it out. That's got to be replaced. The head itself looks okay. I think we'll be able to reuse that. The chain guide, that looks good. No wear on that. The head gasket, and it doesn't look like that had any blow by. That looks okay. The cylinder, it's another story. That cylinder has all kinds of, I don't know if that's corrosion or what. Corrosion and scoring. So this either needs to get bored out or replaced. Probably gonna replace it. We'll see see what that costs. And here's the piston. There's a little bit of scoring on this side, but it doesn't look too bad. Then you get to this side, and voila. This motor seized up, or partially seized. It must have been running really lean. The carburetor must have been messed up on it, and it wasn't getting enough fuel. And somebody wrote it like a bat out of hell and fried up the motor. So I guess where I'm at right now is I understand why he couldn't get the motor running. I mean, he said he really wasn't a mechanic anyway, but he didn't have time to mess with it. And honestly, you would have never got this motor running. The motor's fried. So the lower end seems okay. This exhaust stud's busted. I'll probably have to replace both studs. So I know why he couldn't get it running, and I didn't even try to get it running. It had a brand new spark plug in it, brand new carburetor, so he tried the easy stuff and couldn't get it to run. And I don't think it was gonna run anyway. These rockets are no good. The valve cover itself is good, so hopefully you'll be able to reuse it. I mean, you can see how hot that got. I mean, that thing was just smoldering on there. You can see these are dented too. See that? That's dented. So I'd have to get new adjusters as well. But they come with the rocker, so not a big deal. Well, that's where we're at. I guess now at this point I have to have a come to Jesus moment here and try to decide whether this thing's worth putting money into or not. I mean, I did get it for 450 bucks. That's pretty cheap. The plastics are in mint condition. The bike itself is in pretty good shape outside of it needing tires. Let's go take one last look at it. Yeah, so like I said, it's in pretty good shape. It's just surface rust, really, from sitting. I mean, all this will clean up. It's just like grime and surface rust. It's not rot or anything. I got wire wheel, all that. All this stuff will come clean. And a little bit of paint on the pegs. I got wire wheel, the axle. I don't know if the rear carrier bearings are gone. I'm gonna have to check that next. I'm gonna check the front wheel bearings. Before I go any further, I'm gonna inspect everything on it. I'm gonna check all the wheel bearings, carrier bearings, all that stuff. Let me check that right now, and then I'll come back. Check the front wheel bearings are fine. There's some drag on them. I think it's the brakes, they're a little bit rusty. This rear caliper here is frozen solid. It was grabbing the discs, so I could barely turn the back wheels. They spin pretty free. I don't have any play in there. There's no play at all. They feel pretty smooth. The chain's a little rusty, but they feel pretty smooth. So I think the carrier bearing's fine. We got to figure out what's going on with this caliper. It's probably just frozen. I could probably free that up. We'll see. I don't know. That could be a complete nightmare in itself. So at this point, what I got to do, I mean, it's got a brand new carburetor. New spark plug, new air filter, new battery. So there's a lot of new stuff on it. Let me price out the parts on this and figure out what I'm going to do. Once I price them out, if I'm going to order them, if not, if I'm going to just call it quits on this thing and just sell it as parts, or I'll part it out. So let me do some shopping and I'll get back to you. Well, I put some thought to it, and I think I'm going to go ahead and rebuild this bike. The guy who had it before me was in the military, lost his life, gave the ultimate sacrifice for the country, and I think that this bike deserves to be running again and being used. I don't know if it's in his honor, but it's something that I want to do, so I'm going to do it. One of the things I just did was I removed the exhaust studs. One was broken and the other one was kind of rusty and janky. When I rebuilt my EX400, I accidentally ordered 8 exhaust studs from Partzilla. So I hung on to them, and I've been using them here and there. I actually used I used one on my YZ426F, and I got a couple more right here, and I'm going to use these in here. I chased out the threads, 8mm. Chased the threads out in the head to make it make those go in better. I'm going to put Loctite in there too, and I chased out a few threads on the area where the valve cover goes on. So let me just show you guys what I got. So I went on eBay and I ordered the rocker arms. I don't know if you can see that. I ordered the rocker arms. They came to 56 bucks. I ordered a top end gasket set. That was 19 bucks. I ordered a new camshaft. That was $38. That's used. I'm not buying a Chinese camshaft. I got burnt once before with one of those, so I'm not doing that again. This camshaft looks pretty good. I looked at all the photos, really good. It's a factory Honda cam, so I'm gonna buy that, put that in. I picked up this valve. This valve was 17, and I bought this top end right here. This is a piston and rings. It came out of a bike. This is a cycle salvage company, and they want 145 bucks for the piston and the cylinder and the matched piston and rings. They came out together. I looked those pictures over really well. The piston is like brand new, and the cylinder doesn't have any screws in it or anything, and it just All it needs is a good hone, and we'll be good to go. So that's what I did. It came to like 290 bucks or something like that for the pots to rebuild this top end. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna end this video here. I got all those pots on order. When they come in, I'll video the rebuild and a first start and maybe even a first ride. So if you guys like the content, just give me a thumbs up. You know, if you got any questions about anything you saw today on this video, shoot me an email. My email's in the on my page. You can get the email address there. It's a Gmail account. It's rcbgarage@gmail.com. Also, I want to thank everybody for watching. Share, like, all that stuff. If you give me a thumbs up, and if you subscribe to the channel, you'll get notification when I put part 2 up. So I'll see you guys in part 2. Thanks for watching.